we trying to show you here?
The skill level's the same, you gotta be able to do the same types of things.
Skill level same across the content areas.
Okay.
All right, what's the end, what?
We all in together.
Okay, we all in together. All these are good answers, we all in together. But, the reason we did this is because it's all the same. So we're all using the DOK and the kids are hearing it all day long. The kids are hearing it all day long. But when we substitute what, how, and what other kind of things, who,
What, why, matching, which one,
how, when we substitute those, now it's sporadic throughout the content areas. Okay? So if we just will, look at this. This is all kind. If we analyze, extend, connect, classify, arrange, and compare and contrast. If those would be our words across this curriculum, then they would hear it all the time. I mean, look how much of this stuff, and then when you look at skills demonstrate, we tell them to make observations. And this is just level 1. But we go to level 2, and real life situations, that apply to everybody. Using methods, abstract real life situations, demonstrating skills. If we would do this, if we would just follow this and do this, then the kids would hear it over and over and over and over again. Make sense? That's why we wanted to show you, that's why we wanted to do this exercise. We just wanted to show you that if we all get on the same page, then the language of the standards, the DOK levels, not only will they hear it in science, but they'll hear it in math, social studies, and English, and the more they hear it, then it just becomes the way that we do business. So we got to substitute the how, the what, the who's, the whys, and we have to, and if we'll all start using these, even in our skill demonstrated and our question cues, and we pretty much have this language of the standard and its definition and stuff like that with it. Because if they don't know what, they don't know how to read from a data display, for an example, or it says read from data displayed. They may not hear it in math one day, but eventually they're going to hear it in math. They're going to hear it in all 4 content areas eventually. Okay? So that's why we need to send our stuff as we're preparing our tests, assessments, or anything for students. We have to start using these cues. And all of these are little things, that if we do, it would help us increase our scores and help students be successful. It would help raise Lexile levels. It would help all of those things, definitions, all of those things. And this is straight out of Department of Education, right where they give us things to help us get ready and prepare for the test. This is where this came from. So they're telling us that these are the cues and the skills demonstrated students have to know. All we have to do is update our tests. I know we got to pull those tests out that we've been using because it's easy and it's already been created. But get the whole department involved in recreating the tests, not one or two people. Now, across the other, I know this is content, but anything that y'all do, y'all can help us out with this stuff as well. When you give, those of you that give written tests, I know a lot of stuff is skill-based, but in other areas, CTAE and those of us that, other areas that give written tests, we want you to start using these words as well. All right, and then it helps us do everything across the school. All right. So that's why we did this little exercise, because I know we can tell you, but you know, very seldom do we come together and show it to you as a group. So any questions, any comments about this? When we see tests, then we should see, again, when we see tests, and you send them to Ms. Ingram, formative assessments, anything, these are the things we need to use when we're doing business, as far as questions, cues, and skills demonstrated. Okay.
Dr. Gray, I was gonna say, some of you have sent me a lot of tests, and I'm glad to help you, and I'm working on them, and I'm glad you're coming to me and asking me for help on them, and it's merely just, at first I panicked because I thought, I'm gonna have to change all these tests around, you know, they're gonna have to do these tests, but it's really been easy because it's been a matter, like Ms. Broxton and I worked with one the other day, I worked with Ms. Brown too, it's a matter of changing, you know, the content's there, it's just changing one or two things, the way we ask it. But if you send me a test, if you send it to me today and you need to give it tomorrow, I might not be able to get it back to you that fast. You know, I can, sometimes I sent one back the other night like 11:30 because I was trying to do it in bed, but I can't get them back that fast. If you'll just try to give me like a couple of days to look at it, and I'll do my best, as long as I'm here, you know, to get it back to you.
And hopefully we get to the point where, I mean, this is really too easy for all of us, this college educating, have degrees, just too easy. So hope we get to the point where she can look at it and say, okay, I mean, that's how it should be anyway. She can look at it and say, okay, it's good. Hopefully get to the point as soon as you hand it,
Well, it's
hand
like,
it to her.
some people are giving me like 2 and they're already fine with it now, I don't have to look at them
Right.
anymore. But, and then I made charts, especially for CTAE Fine Arts and P and all this. I made charts, that the charts over here that I have is this. It's not your blueprint from the DOE. This is a chart that they are all combined on, because I know at some point you may use some of the others. Since everybody is the same, I mean, it may have 1 or 2 extra, but that's not really gonna hurt anything. So I made these, because some people would ask me to make them for them so they could keep them by their computer when they're typing their test, so they can just look as a reference and change. So I made these and I made copies and I have them here. So if you want those, I have them here for you.
Any other questions on this? Any concerns about it? All right. Thank you, Ms. Ingram, for leading that exercise forward. You tell me what professionalism means. What is professional? What's the meaning of professionalism as it applies to us and as it applies to the TEAC standards? What does professionalism mean to anybody? I mean, it don't have to be word for word. What is your understanding of professionalism?
Conduct yourself in a class way, doing things in a timely manner.
Okay,
Conscientious expert.
say again.
A conscientious expert.
Conscientious expert. What else? Professionalism.
Conducting yourself in such a way that somebody would trust you with whatever job you've said that you can do.
Right. Okay. Doing your job that you said you can do when you sign your contract. What does a contract bind us to? When we sign a contract, what are we agreeing to?
Uphold the standards of
Say again?
Expected of us.
What's expected of us?
uphold the policies and procedures of the school district.
There you go. All right. Right, so everything that you all have said is correct. But the portion I'm gonna talk about is what Coach English just said, upholding in following the policies and procedures of the school. You know, are there policies and procedures that we don't like? Of course. Are there policies and procedures that we do and rules that we do and we don't understand why we do them? Of course. Because all of us at one time or another are in different situations. I need everybody's attention up here on me, unless you taking notes. So there's different situations as to, why policies and procedures are written, okay? But if you follow policies and procedures as they are written, if something happens, then you're protected, okay? So whether you like a policy or procedure, you have to remember they're there to protect you. Because they're written because a lot of times, every year, a situation come up that I had no idea. So what I do, I go and make a little note in my handbook update folder to cover us on that situation, okay? But something as simple as standing at the doors. Something as simple as standing at the door between classes. And how long I've been saying that? This is my 10th year as your principal. We know we stand at the door. But I still have some of us that have trouble standing at the door. Don't leave your classes unattended. I still have some of us that are going out down the hallway thinking that, oh, well, I'll be back, ain't nothing gonna happen. That's, he talking about, but not my class. Ain't nothing gonna happen in my class. And we run down the hallway. Don't let students use the phone. Don't let your students use the phone. You still let students use the phone because this is a good class and, I like this student, so I'm gonna let her or him use the phone. And then what happens before we can even get to the student, or if there's a situation with the student, then what happens, the parent is up there fussing at the people in the front over something that we didn't even know had taken place. So it's not fair to the ladies up front. I'm not even talking about me. I can deal with it. Parent come in, I'm equipped, I can deal with it. And I can go on and on and on and on. And those are just some examples of stuff that we've had in place that just some of us just for some reason don't agree with it, think it don't apply to them, and just gonna continue just basically doing our own thing. But this is what happens if something goes wrong. Okay? And I want y'all to think about this every time you're not at your door, or you run and leave a class unattended, or you're not doing something you're supposed to do. If something happens, you're pretty much on your own. Because I think what we forget is people can sue the school. School has insurance. But insurance, if it's not following procedure, like those of us that sneak out the door, I'm just gonna run uptown for a minute. I'm not gonna run around here trying to see who's not in their classroom. Run uptown for a minute and have an accident, you're on your own. I have a very good friend of mine that owns an insurance company, a State Farm insurance company. And do you know they don't want to pay claims? Insurance companies don't want to pay claims. That's why they screen you and do all these things before they even insure you. Insurance companies do not want to pay claims. So when a claim is presented to them, they look at every way that they can not to pay it. It's not, oh, you've been a customer for 30 years and we're going to gladly cut you that check. And some of y'all have dealt with insurance companies that have changed insurance companies because they didn't pay a claim, or you're fussing with the insurance company. It's the same way with liability. So you get yourself and do something that's not part of policies and procedures, school insurance is not going to cover you. So I want y'all to hear me. You're not getting over on Dr. Gray. I'm gonna run down here and you messing with your own livelihood. And if something goes wrong, you run my office. I've got plenty of tissue I can give you. That's about all I can do for you. And we gotta start thinking, y'all always hear me say, we gotta start thinking organizationally. We gotta start thinking how this affects the organization. Because bottom line, this is a job. That's what this is. This is a job. And in every job, you have policies and you have procedures. Everywhere you go. But for some reason, some of us think because it's in a school that we can do different things that we would do if we were at the bank or at the chalk mine or whatever. So please, let's follow. It's for your own protection. Now, some of us have been in court. Now, I always bring this up because it is necessary. And my court person that we were in court together, and I always bring this up because it is so, so true. Was that my first year? It was early, about 9 years ago. Here's my other court buddy right here, just walked in. And they put us on that stand, and the first thing they asked us was, where were you? Where were those teachers? The prosecuting and the defense. I don't know what they asked them because guess what? They had me in the back. And they had them in the back when I was on the stand. The first thing I read about to me was, where are you and what are your policies and what are your procedures?
They asked me what kind of shoes they had on.
Exactly. What did they ask you? Where was she? If her answer would have been, I was in my room and I was talking to a student trying to finish up whatever I was doing, and then it said, where were you supposed to be? And if her answer would have been, I was supposed to be at my door, guess what? Negligence. Lifestyle change, as she knows it. That girl had she had something wrong with her brain damage. Huh? Brain aneurysm. So if y'all think for 1 minute they weren't looking for money, grandma got all dialed up. I don't know if y'all remember grandma. I remember because I was the principal, so I remember everything. Grandma all dialed up, makeover, nails done, hair done, on the news. Oh, they done jumped on my baby. She was minding her own business. She was just walking down the hall, and these 4 girls just jumped on her. Well, guess what? For FERPA law, as the principal, I couldn't rebut that. I couldn't get on and say, no, that wasn't true. Them 4 girls, that girl, they started fighting 2 of them because of FERPA law. So whatever the news said,
What's the FERPA law?
confidentiality. You can't talk. You and I need to update you on that. FERPA law is confidentiality, student confidentiality. You can't discuss students with anyone. You can't discuss behavior, can't discuss grades, you can't be at the Walmart talking to Miss Ingram and y'all two talking about, man, did you see Mills the other day? You know that joker was, that's a violation of FERPA law.
Yeah, we
So
can
it's
talk.
confidentiality. All right? We can talk. Okay? But it's confidentiality. Okay? So these things are in place for our protection. And I cannot emphasize that enough. And I can have Ms. Ingram Google right